All right, so let's take a look at our article and let's see what they learned today.
Okay.
Now, we see our scenario. It says Roxy and Shia are looking at a display of dolls.
Oh, so we left them and they were looking around trying to find some dolls and they found them.
Yeah.
All right, so they're looking at this display of dolls and Roxy is going to kind of explain to us what she sees. So first, she says, so people put these dolls on a red mat. Okay, now we need to look at this word mat to sort of understand what she's seeing in front of her. Mat is spelled M-A-T, mat, and it's a noun. We're going to learn more about it right now. A mat is a piece of material, usually cloth, but sometimes plastic or very light wood, that covers another surface to protect the one under it. Now, you often see mats on the floor or on a piece of furniture like a table or a desk. Here's an example sentence. After I took a shower, I stood on the mat and put on my clothes. Let's say it one more time. After I took a shower, I stood on the mat and put on my clothes. So the mat is where I stand after I get out of the shower and it helps me dry. It means I don't get the floor wet. Okay, so all of these dolls are not just sitting on a table. Now these dolls are pretty important. We'll find out why in a second. And you don't want to have them just on the table. These dolls need to go on a red mat. It's like a nice, beautiful floor for all these dolls, not doors.
For all the dolls. Yeah, so I'm guessing maybe red is like a lucky color, perhaps?
Maybe, yeah.
Because in a lot of, Asian traditions, red is a good color.
Yeah.
It means like, good luck and stuff like that. So maybe it's important to have the color red as well. All right, so I want to learn more. It says, Shia says yes, and the order is special too. Okay, so the way you place the dolls are important too. Each doll stands for a person in Japan's court.
Okay.
Oh, okay, no wonder. Right, that's actually really interesting. But we see the word order. Now, there's a lot of meanings for the word order. In our article, it means like a sequence, to put things from maybe in the right order, like A to Z, or
like A, B, C,
D.
Okay.
Right? We don't skip around to F and P and L and then Z.
No.
It could be by numbers, like
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Right. Okay.
That's what it means when you put things in order. Now, order can also mean the things that you buy.
Okay.
It can be used as a noun, the things that you buy. For example, I made an order at McDonald's. Okay.
Cheeseburgers, yeah.
Yes, and lots of fries. Okay, or my sister's order is on the way. So maybe my sister bought something online, she bought clothes online. So her order is on the way.
Okay.
Now, of course, when we go to restaurants, we can order food. Now, order here would be a verb, and it means you're asking for food at a restaurant or a place to eat. So maybe the waiter might ask you, are you ready to order?
5 cheeseburgers, please.
Yeah, and I can say, yes, we're ready to order.
Okay.
It means I'm ready to ask for some food. So there's a lot of different meanings for the word order.
Okay, so we know, like Tiffany said, we put these dolls in order. They have a very special order we're going to find out about soon. But we also said something about each of the dolls. Okay, now this word each is pretty special here. When we use this word each, we're talking about 2 or more things, but separately. So here, all the dolls, all together, they have a special meaning, but they all have a different special meaning. So one doll has a special meaning that's different from the doll next to it. So they're all special, but for different reasons. Okay, so here's an example sentence we could say for that. Each person will get a different gift. So all the people will get gifts, but every person will get a different gift.
Oh, okay. That makes it feel a lot more special then.
Right.
All right, so why do they do this? Because each doll stands for something else.
Right.
Remember, each doll is a little bit special, so each doll stands for something else. Now, stand for, this phrase means that we use this to show that one thing can mean something else. For example, we often use it with maybe letters and pictures and colors.
Right.
For example, when you're driving, okay, the red light, okay,
there's
the
that
color
color.
red means stop. it stands for stop. Green stands for go. And yellow stands for to slow down.
Not speed up.
To slow
down. Okay, so what these dolls stand for is pretty important. So each doll has a special meaning. Each doll stands for a person in Japan's court. Now, court here is a noun, and it's a pretty important word for this story. A court is the word for the place that a king or a queen or an emperor or someone like that lives and works.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we know in Japan has an emperor, and so that person is at the top of the court. Okay, we'll learn more about that word in a second, but there might be other people in the court too. Maybe the queen is at the top of the court, and there are other people in the court too. They all have different jobs. They have different things to do. Some of them are important, some of them are not. But they all have different levels, so we can put these jobs in order in the court.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So court is also kind of like, for example, the White House.
Right.
This is a place where the president works and lives.
So the president would be at the top of the court.
That's right.
And then like vice president underneath and so on and so on. Okay, so let's find out what order these dolls are in. And here Roxy tells us, she says, so the emperor is at the top. So if you can imagine, we have a display. There's the emperor at the top. So it would be the highest up. Okay, so an emperor is the man who rules many different countries at one time. Not just one country, but many. Now you can also have a female emperor.
Yes.
Yeah, all right, females. That word is empress. Okay, so emperor is for the man. Empress is for the woman.
Yeah, I remember in Chinese history, there's an Empress Wu.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm not too sure. My Chinese history is kind of bad, but I remember there really was an empress in China, and she ruled for a really long time as well. And she was a very strong and powerful empress. So don't worry, girls. You all can be presidents.
You can be an empress.
You can be an empress. You can be anything. You could be a queen. All right, so let's continue reading. Shaya then says, that's right. The servants are lower down.
Oh, so lower down, that means less important, right? Okay.
So they're probably at the bottom. So now what is a servant? A servant is a person who you hire to help around the house or to help you around the office or workplace. But the servant is more used for people like a long time ago, and this means like they were here to maybe, serve the emperor, to help the king or queen.
These days we don't have servants very much anymore. We might have people who help us, but we don't really call them servants.
Yeah, it's a little bit rude, so we don't say that anymore.
Okay. All right, so we've got the emperor at the top, and then we've got the servants at the bottom. But there's something else we need to know about these dolls. Okay, now when you think about a doll, the most important thing is what the doll looks like.
Yes.
Right? So Roxy is looking at these dolls and she says, these dolls are all really beautiful. Of course they are. Now I've seen some pictures of them and they are very beautiful.
I can imagine all the Japanese clothing on them.
Right.
It looks nice. Shai says, people will take them down soon though. Okay, well they're all put nicely on display. Why do we have to take it down?
I want to look at the dolls.
Yeah.
Okay, well Roxy's a little confused too. She says, why? They're interesting. She wants to look at these dolls. Maybe she even wants to play with one of them.
Yeah, or maybe she wants to take one home, right? Well, Shaya says there's a reason for that because they take them down right after the festival. If there are still dolls up on March 4th, the next day, the family's daughters will marry late. Oh, no wonder. Okay, so if you don't want to marry too late, then you need to take them down before the next day.
Right.
Now let's first learn about what daughter means here. It's our word power word. It's spelled D-A-U-G-H-T-E-R. Daughter. Now, daughter is basically the female child. So, your parents, if they have a girl, you are the daughter. If your parents have a boy, then you are the son. All right, so son is spelled S-O-N. Don't get it confused. Let's take a look at our sample sentence. It is, Anne raised her daughter alone because her husband died 10 years ago. Anne raised her daughter alone because her husband died 10 years ago.
Okay, so we saw they take the display down after the festival because families don't want their daughters to marry late. Now, marry is a verb. It's spelled M-A-R-R-Y, marry, and we're going to learn about it now. When you marry another person, you become that person's husband or wife. So if you are a woman and you get married, you become a wife, and the man is your husband. Now, if you're a boy or a man and you get married, the woman is your wife. Okay, here's an example sentence. Adam wants to marry his girlfriend, Denise. Let's say it one more time. Adam wants to marry his girlfriend, Denise. I'm not so sure about this festival.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's important.
Exactly. Roxy says, huh? Who cares about that?
Yeah, why does it matter when people get married?
Yeah, so she's thinking, well, you know, it doesn't really matter. You don't have to get married really young. It doesn't matter what age you get married. You should do it whenever you feel ready. So Roxy's like, who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Who cares?
But
Shaya's her brother. And brothers like to make jokes. Which is why Shaya says, you don't need to worry. No one will ever marry a crazy person like you.
Oh, Shaya, I'm going to pinch him.
So I bet Roxy's a little bit mad now. And that's because Shaya just called his sister crazy. Now, crazy is an adjective. It's spelled C-R-A-Z-Y, crazy. Let's find out what it means. Crazy is a word we use to say that something doesn't make sense or is very strange. Now, it's often used as a joke between brothers and sisters or between friends to say that someone is strange. But it can be used in a mean way too, so be careful how you say this word. Sometimes as a joke, it's funny, but it can also hurt people's feelings. Okay, here's an example sentence. You want to have a pet tiger? That's crazy. Let's say it one more time. You want to have a pet tiger? That's crazy. So no one wants to marry a crazy person like you.
Well, I would have to say, Shaya, you're crazy for saying that to Roxy. She's going to show you.
Yeah.
So she says, what?
What?
So she says it in a very like, what? In an angry kind of like, okay, how dare you say this to me way.
Now we know that because it's in all capital letters.
That's right.
And we also see both a question mark and an exclamation mark, which means it's like a question, but she's also shouting, right? Okay, so Roxy's angry at Shaya. She shouts, what? And now Shaya, he knows he's in trouble. So he's running away, and here it says, Shaya runs back to the time machine, and Roxy runs after him. Now, what's she doing here? She's running after. Run after means to chase after someone, especially to try to catch them.
Yeah, he's going to be in big trouble now.
Right.
All right, so that's kind of interesting to learn about this festival. I would love to see it in person.
Yeah, me too.
I think it'd be something great to see. All right, so we hope you guys learned more about Doll Festival. If you do have the time, you can go visit Japan and go visit go have fun at the festival.
See what it's all about.
Yeah, exactly. But before we go to our review time, let's take a look at our magic box.
Great.